So far we've talked all about setup and configuration. Now it's time to actually build the site. Let's take another look at our example post that was generated for us when we created the site. Inside of our post we have some YAML front matter, and the first thing that's mentioned is layout, which equals post. So what we're telling Jekyll is we want Jekyll to use the post layout to process this post. It's going to go find that layout in the layouts directory. That can be set in configuration, but by default it's in _layouts. So if we open up the _layouts folder, we see a file called post.html. That's the layout that Jekyll's going to use to process our post. This is the post layout. And don't pay attention to this right now. We'll talk about that in a second. But as you can see, we have an h2 with page.title. Now this is from the YAML front matter. So as you can see, page.title will be welcome to Jekyll. And this is how we can share values across files. So back in the post layout, page.title will print out the title of the post. We have a paragraph with a class that has the date. This is a liquid filter, and we'll talk about liquid more later. And then down here, this is the most important thing, this special liquid tag called content. At that point is where the post that called this layout will be dropped. Now this is interesting because not only posts can call layouts, pages can call layouts, and even other layouts can call layouts. What I mean is, if you were to just use this HTML and have an H2 and a paragraph and a div and then all of the content in here that's been parsed and processed and converted via Markdown, you still don't have a full HTML page. You just have some HTML. There's no head, there's no body. This layout is actually referencing another layout called default. So if we look at the default layout, here we see the general HTML tags that we expect, and we have a content tag. So now everything that's been processed up to now, the original post, processed by Markdown, and then dropped into the post layout, then that will be all processed, and then all of that together will be dropped into this content tag. So you can nest all the way down. And that's what's really, really powerful, because if you look here in the title tag, this layout is referencing page.title. So let's create a new layout. We'll call it audio post, and we'll pretend like we're having a music blog here. And we'll do some YAML front matter here and say layout, and we'll just use the default layout as our main layout. And then we will do H2 with our post title. And we're going to put the content here. And after the content, download our audio file. And we'll make this a link, site.url, and that's going to give us the full URL to our site from the configuration. But now we need to know, well, what's the name of our audio file? And if you remember, we can say page.audio file. And now we'll have a nice download link at the bottom of each of our posts. So if we go back to our original post and we change our layout from post to audio post, and we already set the audio file to welcome.mp3, so I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff at the bottom here that we were testing in the last video. And when we go back to the browser, our download link is here, and it thinks it's at our localhost port 4000 /audio/welcome.mp3. Now that file isn't there, but we could just create a folder called audio and put the mp3s all in there. And when Jekyll compiles the site, it'll move that folder right over into the site folder. In the next video, we'll build a couple posts, and we'll talk about the way Jekyll expects you to name posts, as well as some special things you can do with posts once you've built them.